Hi, this is Dr. Kristin Fellows with Cornerstone Family Chiropractic, and I'm here today with Seth, who has been a patient of mine for a while now, and we're just going to tell you a little bit about Seth's case.
My problem started about a year ago when some ringing started in my right ear, and about 3 weeks into the school year I literally lost almost all of my hearing. And I was basically facing where every day was almost going to be the last day of my teaching career. When this problem was at its worst, the emotional toll was almost unbearable. I remember one of the things I would do every morning is when I would put the key in the ignition, the ding ding that the car makes is how I would gauge how well I was hearing. And there were mornings I would stick the key in the ignition. I could barely hear the ding ding of the car, and that just kind of would take the emotion right out of my day.
When he first came in to see me, I could tell that it was greatly concerning him. You know, I hadn't looked at, I hadn't examined him yet, and I wasn't sure what we were going to find. I wasn't sure initially if I could help him. So we had to first figure that out, and I was excited when I saw what I saw, when I did his exam and when I took the x-rays and I correlated that with his symptoms, and I felt like, you know, I really think I can help you here. That was exciting.
Since I've been adjusted, typically the progression of my problem, which is technically labeled as Meniere's disease, I usually suffer vertigo attacks, and whenever the ringing starts, I usually suffer anywhere between 4 to 10 vertigo attacks before the problem goes away. And so far since seeing Dr. Kristin, I've only suffered one, and that was right at the very beginning of treatment. And since I've been seeing her, I've had 0 vertigo attacks, and I've had some of the best days of not only hearing, but the ringing has reduced compared to what I've been hearing.
So what some people don't realize, sometimes people will come in and say, well, how can pushing on a bone in your neck help someone's hearing? And so what a lot of people don't realize is that it's all about the nervous system. And so when we have a misalignment in our spine, it has a great effect on the nervous system. So everything happens in communication between the brain and the body. And if you have a misalignment in one of the segments in your spine, that will compromise the nervous system. And we end up with messages that are not getting out to our body as they were intended. I thought one of the really neat things that we saw was not only did the hearing in his right ear improve, but the hearing in his left ear, which that's been an issue since birth.
Since birth, yeah, and it actually showed up on an audiometric test from the audiologist. He actually pointed out to me that since my previous hearing test, hearing in my left ear had also improved, especially in the low frequencies. So there seems to be something not only healing in my right side of my head, but also on the left, which has been, I've been hard of hearing in that ear since birth.